Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Kim and welcome back to Uncommonkim. I hope you're all doing well. Today I'm going to be doing the mid-year freakout tag, where we're going to talk about some of my best books, my worst books, favourite authors, so on and so forth, so far, that I have read in 2024. I've pre-picked the books. It was quite difficult, some of them, I must say. I've tried to have a book for each prompt, but one prompt I have had to double up on because I couldn't just choose one. And that's the first prompt. The first one is best book you've read so far in 2024. I've read quite a lot of 5 stars this year so far, but there's 2 that stands out to me. One was Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. The best way I explain this to people is the crack in between the pages. The crack. I think I read this in a very short amount of time. Also, one of my favourite quotes of all time now is in Divine Rivals. I didn't think I was going to love this as much as I did, but it was a phenomenal read. And as I say, crack. And the other one will be no surprise to any of you who are regular watchers over here, the reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson is my queen. She is the love of my life. I am a stan for Good Girls Guide to Murder series. I also really enjoyed Fire Survive, but this could be my new favourite Holly Jackson book, which is saying a lot because I loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, A Good Girl Bad Blood, As Good as Dead, all 3. I loved them. I have like several copies of the whole series, but this hit different. This was new. It was exciting. There was twists, there was turns. I just absolutely adored this book, and I read it in about 24 hours, 48 hours maybe, but it was a fucking good read. We follow a girl called Belle whose mum went and disappeared when she was 2 years old, and now her dad has decided to make a true crime documentary with these typical British producers, and all of a sudden her mum reappears and it's just kind of that entire story of what actually happened to her mum, and holy fucking shit. The emotions in this book were something else. But yeah, I couldn't choose one. I think we're probably more edging towards this the more I talk about it, but you know. We'll have 2 options anyway. The next question is best sequel you've read so far in 2024. And for this I went for Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. This is the second book in the Devabad trilogy, the first one being City of Brass. I read City of Brass last year, loved it, really enjoyed it, and Kingdom of Copper was again another favourite for me. It was a really good read. Again, twists, turns. The love I have for these characters just haven't dwindled in the slightest. I'm really excited to get around and read Empire of Gold, hopefully at some point this year. I say that, it took me a year to read this after I loved City of Brass, so we'll see. But yes, I really loved this. If you didn't know, I really enjoy, I call them Aladdin vibes. And these had Aladdin vibes, and oh, I was just, oh, Dara. I can actually read part of the synopsis to you, but do you know what? No. If you want to know about it, read it. It also has been out long enough. I'm sure a lot of you have already read it. Okay, next one we have a new release you haven't read yet but you want to. And this literally, I think I received this last week as a pre-order, and that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I've seen a lot of people chatting about this one. It has only recently come out in the UK. We literally got it last week, but I'm really excited to read it because if you put dragons in anything, I'm gonna read it. The reviews are very mixed though, I will say, but this dragon's really cute. So I'm kind of hoping that they are in it, but the cover is also just stunning. But yeah, I believe it's dragon story, romantasy vibes. That's all I kind of really know about it. It's all I kind of really want to know about it, but it's very mixed. I don't think Cassidy was a massive fan, but I'm hoping I will enjoy it, but we will see. Next we have most anticipated release for the second half of 2024. Now I recently did a most anticipated releases video, so if you want to see all of them, they're all in that video, but I have a few on my list. Yes, that's how long my list is, and they're all pre-ordered. I have a problem. There's quite a few on here that are kind of shouting out to me, but my main ones are We Solve Murders by Richard Osman, Death at Morning House by Maureen Johnson, and Fury of the Gods by John Gwynne. They're the kind of main three that I'm like, as soon as I've got it, I'm gonna read it. But otherwise, the others I'm like looking forward to, but just not drastically. But I go over them all in my video if you are so interested to see those. Next we have biggest disappointment. And do you know what, I must say, I am one of those readers who, if I don't like a book, a DNF. If I don't like a book, I put it down. So I don't get many disappointments because I don't finish them. But for some reason I decided to finish this. The City of Stardust by Georgia Summers. It was interesting. Is this spoilery? I just felt like we had a build-up in this throughout the entire book and it led to nothing. That's the only thing, and that's a big disappointment. You read a book. I was very I was enjoying the characters, apart from the kind of male main character, if you must, because he was just I'm gonna call him a meatloaf. He just absorbed everything and did as he was told, basically. He was absolutely waste of space. But yeah, I enjoyed the characters more, like the Everleys in this. So is it Violet? Is it Violet? Yeah, Violet Everly and her, oh my god, I'll take that back out. Violet Everly and her uncles. I really enjoyed their relationships, but everything else was just kind of a flop. Didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would, especially because it is quite a nice addition, but it is what it is. Next we have Biggest Surprise, and I think I have spoken about this in a vlog somewhere, but it is Red Sister by Mark Lawrence. I was really surprised how much I loved this, and I have very similar reading taste to Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy, and she adores this series, and so I was like, well, I might like it, but I was just scared of it. But I tell you what, I loved it. It was phenomenal. The twists, turns, the relationships, the education system, all of it phenomenal. I loved every single character in here, via one. If you know, you know. And I'm really excited to carry on with Grey Sisters very soon. I think I was put off because Mark Lawrence is such a big author, quite well known in the fantasy genre, and I was thinking, bollocks, like maybe Mark Lawrence won't be for me. Well, Mark, you'll be happy to know you are. you are my guy. I really enjoyed this, so I'm really excited to carry on with the series. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen to our little Nona Grey next. Next we have favourite new author. This can be new or a debut, and I went for new. And you might be a bit shocked that I only discovered, I've owned, right, start from the beginning. I've owned this author's book for years. I've just never read it, never gotten round to it, and I don't know why. But this year, in February, I took part in the literature readathon hosted by Steph from Steph Loves, and in that I thought, it's time. So I read one book, loved it, and I've bought all of her books since. Ali Hazelwood. Yeah, I read The Love Hypothesis during February. I fell in love with this woman and her writing and these characters. So then I bought Love on the Brain. I bought Love Theoretically. I bought Bride because Bride had just come out, and now I own every book this woman has written. Have I read them all? No. I read 3. I read The Love Hypothesis, Love on the Brain, and I've read Bride, and all 3 of them, no, Love on the Brain and Love Hypothesis were 5 stars. Bride was a 4. But I still really enjoyed them. I really enjoyed Bride's, everything about Bride. I just felt it was a bit long. Bit dragged out. It didn't need to be that long, but it was still a really good read. But yeah, I feel like this is a new favourite author for me, because so far everything she's writing is my shit. Maybe I'll have to do like an Ali Hazelwood reading vlog or something, because I've got her new release. I can't remember what it's called. What's it called? Oh, Not in Love. And I've got Check and Mate. I've got quite a few, so I might do a vlog. Let me know if you want a vlog, and I can please, I can do that for you. Next we have newest fictional crush. Now, this isn't a main character, this is a side character who in this book we only got a bit of a glimpse of, but I feel like we're going to get more of in the next book. So it's The Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I read it for the first time this year, loved it. I read the new versions. I'm holding this up just because it's easier, but also I can show you this. No safer place. Yeah, so I read this, when did I read this? Was it last month, I think? And I gave it 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. But Nick, my guy, I know, I'm not going to spoil anything, but I know what he says in this. I know, but I love him. I love him. I love his protection over Paige, his love for the team, for the group. Him. I love him. He is just the sweetest man. And I think in the mime order we're going to get some more of him, I'm hoping, because he's a gem. A gem. He could, oh, that's massive. If you don't know, I'm a big Cassie Clare fan, and my favourite books of all time, fantasy books of all time, I was thinking of Holly Jackson, favourite fantasy books of all time are the Clockwork trilogy, the Infernal Devices, Gem, Will, oh, my guys. But Nick, oh, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Next we have newest. No, I just did that one. Next we have A Book That Made You Cry. Hold on. A book that made me cry right at the very beginning of this year. I say that. Was it in January? Yes, no, it was in January. Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, which is the second book in the Dark Artifices trilogy. This is the middle book. I've bawled my eyes out at the end of this book. A lot of people don't like Cassandra Clare, and you know what? That's fine. If you don't like her, she's not for you. I completely understand. But she is my fantasy queen. This woman cannot write anything I won't enjoy. Apart from the last 3 books and the Mortal Instruments, but we won't talk about that. That's not what we're talking about. We're here to talk about Lord of Shadows. So this follows on, they kind of all link together. So the last book in the Mortal Instruments, we briefly meet Emma, and I can't remember his name. Oh my lord, what's his name? Please show me his name. Emma. That's not the brother I want. Where's the other one? Nope. Nope. Can anyone find the brother I'm after, please? No. Even though my guy. Nope, definitely not you, sir. In the bin. Why can I not remember his name? He's so bloody... Found him. Julian. Julian and Emma. So we briefly meet them at the end of the Mortal Instruments. And then once the Mortal Instruments finishes, we then go over to their own series, which is the Dark Artifices, where we follow Julian and his entire family. He's got a big family. He's got about 4 or 5 siblings, I think, and him and Emma bring them up. His uncle's there too. It's not just kids looking after kids. His uncle is there too, and a few other people from the Mortal Instruments. And somebody else as well, but I'm not gonna bring that up. I don't want to spoil it for anyone. But the ending of this crushed my internal soul, and that is why I've put off reading Queen of Air and Darkness, because 1 is bigger than this, and 2 is going to crush my soul. So I'm not ready for that yet. A book that made me happy, I have gone for Richard Osman's The Bullet That Missed. I love this entire series with my whole heckin' heart. It is a bunch of fun, this entire series. I will forever and always... I've got a bookmark in here. Oh, it's a bookmark for the series. Oh, it can stay in there then. Yeah, it's just a whole lot of fun, this. It's basically old people in a retirement home in the UK. Classic British old people solving unsolved murder cases from their retirement home. And they get in all kinds of trouble. They get in a whole lot of fun. They drink lots of tea, and it is a vibe. I love this entire series so much. I recently got the 4th book because it came out in paperback, because I needed it to match, obviously. So I'm really, really excited to get around and read that probably next month. But I have been told and pre-warned that I will cry at the 4th book, which makes me nervous because obviously we do follow old people, and death triggers me, so we'll see. But yeah, hell heckin' fun. A lot of happies. Next we have most beautiful books I've bought this year. I say books because I couldn't choose one, so I chose 3. that are all from the same series. So we have The Mime Order, The Mask Falling, and The Song Rising, which is book 2, 3, and 4 in the Bone Season trilogy. Trilogy? No, it's not. It's a series. So this is book 1. It's stunning. Sprayed edge. And it's signed. I got these while I went to Southampton. I did a whole come shopping with me. God, I'm just flogging myself today, aren't I? Then we have The Mask Falling. Nice and pretty. Again, signed. And then we have The Song Rising, which is a lot smaller. And now we're just apparently waiting on book 5. But they are definitely the prettiest books I've bought this year. Missed the question out. I'm so sorry. Newest favourite character. I decided to just skip it. That's my brain at the moment. But this is the book that I'm repeating. Is Belle from The Reappearance of Rachel Price. Just because... Do I have to give an explanation? Yeah, I suppose. Basically, from the very beginning of the book, Belle is quite shy, doesn't like people, can relate, hides away from anything and everything, feels safe at home. She's very much a homebody, and then at the end of the book she's a completely different character, and I just feel so proud. I feel so proud of this girl and what she accomplished in this book. She went from being the scaredest little girl to becoming a goddamn woman, and it was like, yes, Belle, that's what you're meant to do. Well done, my girl. And yeah, it was just very... It's just such a good book. God damn. Read it. Read it. I just love it. I love it so much. I need another Holly Jackson book, but I know I won't get one for ages, and that makes me sad. And then the final question we have is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? All of them. All of them. All of these, all of those, all of them. It's not going to happen, but all of them. If I had to be specific, Iron Flame is a big one, because Onyx Storm comes out next year. Swordcatcher, because the next book, The Ragpicker King, has just been announced, and it's coming out on my birthday. Well excited. So if I have to pick some, they're probably the main 2, just because their releases come out next year. Maybe House of Flame and Shadow, because I still haven't read it. maybe. Don't know. They're kind of like the main ones, I suppose. Maybe catch up on From Blood and Ash. Fragile Threads of Power. Catch up, because you never know when V Shop's going to drop that bombshell. So yeah, they're probably maybe the few if I had to choose some, but nothing drastic. But that's all the questions. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you read any of these. Let me know the answers to what the answers are to these questions for you. I'd love to know. Like if you all enjoyed the video. Leave a... what are these called? Clappers. Leave a clapper emoji if you made it to the end of the video. Let me know if you've read The Reappearance of Rachel Price, because this is my favourite book so far this year. I've just decided. And subscribe if you're new, because we're on our way to 250, which is a little bit insane, but here we are. And I will see you all again very soon for another video. Bye bye.